the elders looked at it, and then they would tell the faith keepers, it's time to gather the chiefs. They respected the elders at that time. One time, they went by the moons. They looked at the moons. That's how she knows it too. They watch the moon. Ni kui ni tuat religious na te na le te hunte oaiksvina ya ka hewe o di na haloli. Na te ti konte sat kala te na lo di lo hati.
Tekin den kaalas se taat ni ostavans le taat ni ka ana. Ti jokin te ni auto ko ne ka vates. Kalen hasen tesa.
Ne ka tikan chigaya taat hunt koeni ja ton sa shena ta hatias lo ni ka swilong
hatias le kanta no chigaya hunt koeni ne ki atie.
Ne taat na te tano kaska londe net na te sanoste na te satkanga ja taandun panokka hoga haksaska I was just asking, when it's midwinter and when we have the Peach Bowl game, what sort of things do we donate, to be played? And Lillian said that, drum and
galas. Galas
lacrosse stick and and rattle and basket and nothing shiny. And she said I asked why we can't give anything shiny, and she said that she doesn't really know, but whatever you give, it can't be something that you don't want. It's got to be something that you value. Hoknetikan kakhochini kakhoda se kwakatikatokan dio ni kanetikan na hagilo wi na yatli wahta dio na tekano sesne negino an hagilo wi adung wawi yatli wahta ti na te neni kakhoda hola na gatian kata oya na ho
Nei ti ni olen yo kante ti olana ki jotkot kana aja.
Ola.
Kalen ti nate ya sawe. E sonet kan wasahe ta kale. Turnips, squash.
Ko kati ti nate no jake ashan talk. She said in the midwinter the food is always corn soup, and it should be something that's been come from underground, like turnips and squash. We know what she mentioned. That's the kind of food you should take to these ceremonies. Kale nadi kong kadi nena te yakot liwa te tayong we haya ka pakata na kuya na liwa te
Nekinen chikayon shaya ho nekinen na liwa takotika.
And she said the food that, say for instance, we took food and I took my own food, and it's my responsibility to pass the food. It's not up to one person, but all the women that brought will pass the food out that they brought. And sometimes it's a man Tos winyo swati la longok to wahala nokchi la hauni na ne nokchi unko kaswine na te wasakun hane tiko eka. Ja ne tahati kahun lonung.
Miksi swatilla siis?
Short, yeah. She said sometimes, when a man comes alone, he brings food. Sometimes he'll get ask a woman to pass out his, whatever he brought. But then there are times, she said, that he'll do it himself. But most of the time they'll ask, a lady to pass out whatever he brought. So we take a joke not there. Kilo we. Nek we not. You can do not today, Jaton. Not that you want ni yet no, no ni wata.
We ni guida jata yun tlo ni yo diakon skriwa gon tlo. Kalau diaketa dia nata gonin. Ia ka welong hati ki iwa.
Okay, tika da ta kilo we dok not there yet li watan di. No, we can no ses ni joke not there. Not li watan di do tia. Kilo we ya ya te da no chakol hale da tuni. Yeah, we that time of the month. Londe ka sui a town do. Eternity says how we not don't such the asadek no na sadek home. Don't skip no ne to skane because then you're just going there.
Ja kineta tiko jatia yin tajahti tatsia kolha.
Ja.
Kanokses.
Yeah.
Ta. Because not that. Niginen kike yot na ko yot asnen das ko dia tunti.
Oh.
Neti ya kolha.
Okay. She said I asked if say for instance you're expecting and you go to the ceremony of the longhouse, you can't go in. They escort you out. And she said she knows that's true because her daughter.
Never did no day, not the early what day. To go no spin no can you hold it to my exata in Laksa. Don't you go ha? Never all you without these to take.
It's not because of her or who you are, it's because they worry about the child. Something could happen to the child. So that's why it's forbidden. Like it's for the child's sake. It's not because of who you are or, but they worry about the child.
Deer meat, is that also part of that limit too?
Huh?
Deer meat, is that also part of that limit?
No, ni cannot ne. Oh, ne yeah.
Ko diake gwine kun tla no nya ta kweti. Ya kina tika ni no de to kati.
She said they used to make, corn soup with it. It's the kind of meat that they would put deer meat in the corn soup.
They can be out target again. No, you're really what Nicanor says, no. What in Hodogus now, they can look on the coon. Dan horns, they go, yes, good to day. When the coon, now they got turn hard in hot. No, again, when you start there, not to near it. Dan no thing got quite no day. There's what the last religion, I think what they wasn't there to. No, we.
La di na di li.
I just told you what the Jongi, Tagonesica, Jun Heco. No Picanica, how we is, but in order it now, drop on the coon. That we can lead.
And as far as the food goes during the ceremonies, any kind of ceremonies, you don't close until after the food's been eaten, because everything is connected to that food. Because if it wasn't for the food, we wouldn't survive. So before the closing, the food has to be, you have to eat first, and the food are involved in whatever is going on. So you don't close any ceremonies before the food is eaten.
This go on here to go. Wahani no ka stunu de ka nasu de ji no tu no ja de uli wa bolo en now de jun he ko.
Because he said everything is connected. The food is connected to the Creator's, coming from the Creator's land.
Ne ji ne nyoti no tori ji. Hagulot ka na du ja ka ji na tai ngoi alan. Ne down ha tu nyoti so ba down. Hu ja ka de ko da mali. Ne we all ji tu nyoti ka hu lo.
Because it is mentioned in the because in the opening they mentioned the food right away. They mentioned that the Creator gave us everything for us, the people that walk on this earth, to survive. He gave us all the food and everything for us to be here. So
Kasino kante jika kayu gontu kala gonyo ne jika ya kuidung latsa se hadi on gontu jika don de na ladu ya wet ji se gongot katunga jika kini pat katong digwi jika ne ji iwi wa gontu jik jika ni chin klo di jika konok chin sho gontu dos ne ladu nglo de so jika kini Kalau gue sama dengan hendungnya, untuk start tiga, Tony kawan orang lawi watak kawan, ne tunut kan negara lagi ne hunggalun lagi, ne gue tunia ci ada di tik, tapi tu kini ko tiga orang tiga tunut lihwaga ci, tunut juga sama tik.
there was no ceremony for maple syrup way back. Leo said that all they do at maple when they start the maple syrup is they go into the bush and and they make a fire and they burn tobacco and give thanks to the maple trees that once again we're seeing the sap run. Na ding kai kan chung kwe dat sun dat sikun dat no nen he said that to me is a glaka kaloda na joni kan itu na ke
Kokone is niat. Hoja kwitun sapun hadi la galoja kyat.
So when we know that you're going into the bush to burn tobacco for the maple syrup, then we all know that it's open now. Everybody can go and tap down there. So that's all that was back then.
They say that some of them call it sugar, but it's not sugar, it's hulundage. That's how they say it.
And then it turned to onundake.
Yeah.
Because it comes from the tree. But we changed it to onundake. But it's onundake because you mentioned the tree in it. Because it comes from the tree.
Negenir chikan letikan kwahenok jino haledo jino te guadamali chikan hasagayan tewa
Don kwati diela.
Negi son chikan net tone chikan nawa sagayan tewa hanilo has hojaka wadi ungwai negenin dikel kwachin de munga tone de wagi kontogas de kanena don ji segundadi do di hayaka onjaga Tordin haledo jino te guadamali tiko kinik tigunir chiwano teka.
And the thunder, do they have a ceremony for thunder?
Nes esantian nes koya tola lagun tigan. Chocolate atakan takon. Tigan kalioso.
Kaliotawanas. Negwe tigan kandu get ne tigan satum de get na hal tigan rajin de lisa troniet. Ne hat lodi.
Not today ti londati.
Na.
When what dokchi, don't know hela don a disca in days. Ya tahun toli na ta ala te hunta na he la do he neji. La di kano leksta te hona hunji ako he. Ha se sanonyata chi no ni wana glas la yang kale. Ne le kale. Tukio knate ti ganchi yo welo no sala di. Ne sala di anaha. Ne sala lo na salawa ko ta kasochi.
Nakilewat.
Ta kasochi ako welo. The Thanksgiving address, and you use that in when you're giving thanks to the thunderers, because they renew the earth. Because when it starts to rain in the spring, they renew the earth. They go back and forth. They go back and forth and renew, and they're also keeping the big animals that could be dangerous to us. They're keeping them underground. And also, they control the winds so that it doesn't get too strong and it destroys us, destroys our homes and everything.
They say before we came down to this earth, when we were still in the sky world, he made the medicine. He made it out of Indian corn, Indian squash, and beans. And he said, he ordained it, I guess, sort of saying that this is going to be medicine for the people I'm going to put on earth. And this is what will help them for their health. 3 sisters, they say.
Well, one of the stories is that it was brought by the Sky Woman. That's one of the stories. That it was on the fringes of her dress. Well, tobacco and the strawberries, the woman, as she was falling, she grabbed those 2.
You grabbed the plants.
Because she brought it with her. That's one of the stories. There's others,
Yeah, those stories, I guess what I'm saying is that we don't really know where it came from, how come they are sisters. Sister to what? To us, or to life, or to what? That's the only story I know where it connects it to us, is that story about how they are a medicine.
Yun tikan na lohi honun kwa tui lohi aneki. Ne oknea hun steliste tjanjiga te sagendelia gung. Kalena. Ja gung ne sonetu niot. Ne gwino ni gan tig. Ne yukni ugan.
She said that the only responsibility that they know is that when they pass out the strawberry, it's given to the children, boy and a girl, that are still innocent of all, like it's any wrongdoing. They're always the one that pass out the strawberry drink.
One thing I know is that the girls, they're not supposed to drink strawberries is when they're expecting, not any kind of berries. Ne tigang no yung naglatit to Swiss what the luan yung huaya.
Birthmark.
Ne tiyan tonon nito it.
sometimes during one of the ceremonies, the first day, it's dried corn that is used. Now I don't know.
Green corn ceremony.
What's that called?
Green corn ceremony.
Green corn ceremony. That's what you use. Not corn soup, but the dried corn. Kanahot. That's the difference. That used to happen a long time ago, when they used to have this, not the lectures in the fall anyway. We used to have people come from all over, like, to come to the harvest, I guess, yeah, or whatever. Anyway, they'd come all over because it would be going all week. So the night that they came, they would have a social. And they would ask the people there, well, who wants to take a person home, and they become your relative, because they're away, they have to stay someplace while they're here. So I remember a few times that my mother brought home, somebody from another reserve, Iroquois at that, community, and they stayed with us the length of time that they were here. The ceremony was going on. It used to be a whole week back then. And I was saying, a lot of that happened, and sometimes, they'd come and then they'd find a friend and they wouldn't go home. So they stayed, they stayed. And people accepted that. And, like, and I was saying one time my mother brought this man home, and I don't know, I forget where he was from. Anyway, he stayed with us, and he said we were having supper one night, and my mother used to always chase me out. I couldn't listen to what they were saying. But anyway, he said I could hear them. He said, well, he says, if you wake up in the middle of the night, I'm gone. Don't worry about me, he says, because I'm just out in the fields. And my dad, because he, like I said, he wasn't traditional, and my dad said to him, why, you're going to be hunting rabbits? And he says, oh, you could say that. He's talking about storing food. He said they used to mahundagwadekaswa. Yes, go. Oh, they don't dig in the ground? Oh.
Mine did.
Yeah.
Dig
Yeah.
a pit.
Yeah. A lot of them did. A lot of them, his grandpa used to do that too. They had, they dug all year round. If they didn't have a fridge, or they used to have ice boxes back then. They put it in the ground or in the well. Like the butter, put it in a rope and drop it on the well. That's how we used to do it.
Kukas ni nuk tika no istos li kalawala chikane kus ni aksat kans tika tia yetahne. Gifsli etantu na ni on tem no na wala kala istos.
Maganda get it, laksat ka wa tsaro gastik tagogos mi uswaya dagan hatik jokya gwal holok. Then you can joke that there's on the stairs. You go out, continue to take a while. Then you can choose out and go there. Kaloga there's out and go there, you can watch Kona at Nia. Nokchi Iski, way and to take, you know, sing away to me. They can end your 20 on the second.
Chihuahuanis long time ago. No skin what then she used to cut it all up. Cut new was in little chunks. Then she she puts it all on a string. No, just cut it. And then she'd hang it up beside the stove. And they would all
dry apples too.
And they would all shrivel up, and so when you put it in water, then they come.
The moon thing. What can you do and not do?
And
why?
That if you're on the moon, that we we can eat not kali waston taka not
That kita good no sahiwa just ja pitang.
Oh, they can't do pickles.
Kala natte sa.
They can't can either.
Ko.
Yeah, they can't can. Tanda ko dayali to now.
Kala tanda ko dikung.
Kala tanda they can't. Nekan that not the liwa.
Hatiki kan.
Oh, they can't cook. And that long time ago, at that time of the month, the man used to do the cooking. The women got out of it for a few days.
Yeah.
That asa de la kun ji se ji de sa don't you know ni gonna talk. Yeah, it's the same. Even if it's at your own home and you're on your time, you don't do it until after it's all over.
It happens after harvest. After harvest, all done, they can do the closing. And then at the closing, he'll mention, we got another thing to attend to, the hunters. We'll do that tomorrow. So next day, they'll get together, bring the hunters in. They do the song, sing, coming in. And song they sing is, I can't remember, what's that, man? Lardy Hunters. He sings that going around. And all the hunters dance. So in that dance, they count all the hunters are going out. So then the speaker gets up and he talks to them. He tells them how to be, what to do, what to kill, how to kill, and everything. Because you don't use force on them. Just one shot, if you miss, it's too bad. So he talks to them all about that. Then we get through talking, then they go hunting. Or he tells them that he tells them that they have to be back before midwinter. Because that meat is going to bring, they're going to bring is spread out then. So the hunters get back, and they come back in singing that same song. Count them again. And he talks about the good luck that they're all in that dance. So he encourages them. So that's how that goes. It starts at harvest, ends at midwinter. That's how that works.
I know they used to smoke the guns, you know what I mean, before they go, you know, white pine, you get your fire going and you get white pine and you smolder it on your fire, and that's where you smoke your guns. I guess that would be, you take everything off it.
It is sweats, but it was a little bit different than it is today. It was more like one guy by himself, so he didn't need a big thing. They say he used to take a blanket back there with him, and he fixed it himself. Enough room for one guy. So when the guy was going hunting, he knew what he had to do. He knew if he had to fix anything, or ask for forgiveness, or ask for luck, or whatever he wanted to do. He done it on his own. So when the sweat he used to use, they say he took a big blanket by himself. So he'd do the fire and everything else and do what he had to do. So each guy was different. So when the hunt was on, they asked for different things. So he knows what he was doing. He knows what he's going to have to get out there, to make it worthwhile going out there. They could not get slowly chicken, chundo lots. This be a kettle.
Yes, we don't know. So net that you know,
That don't got the higher they go.
That ni onu kuat so ya kus.
And quite work out why we got slowly chicken to dollars. Then out.
Elliot said that if his wife is expecting, he can't go hunting. Can't touch a gun.
You'll never kill anything.
And he'll never kill anything.
Never did no day, not the early what the to ganos with the knock on your hoira to my exalta the laksa. Don't you go ha? Never on you without these to take.
It's not because of her or who you are, it's because they worry about the child. Something could happen to the child. So that's why it's forbidden. Like it's for the child's sake.
Like chicken how Wallace will tell you and ask chicken you do latska, lots of days I got out. Then can joke, no cigarette to noon, chicken down harness there was canoned. Hoa. Then chicken, they get chicken no cut, that's a dollars, it's no cut, sat yet or no cut. That's a dollars, snake on us, they go on, hoa. Was come no the highest that you can not tell what doing.
For the hunter.
Mm-hmm.
He says that there are certain times, like say for instance, for instance, if a hunter gets hurt during the hunt and he needs medicine.
There's a good call, yeah.
And you know that, when you do medicine, there's always food, corn soup. And he said that's the time that deer meat is used for that corn soup, is when you're treating the hunter that has, say maybe had an accident or something, and you have medicine for him.
Get ready, get ready. Hurry up. Take it off. Good one.
I think I pulled a shoulder. I pulled my shoulder out.
Did you fall right back?
Yeah, no, I slid right down the tree and fell out.
Oh, okay.
I was lucky I wasn't all the way up though. I only fell a little fall in it, around about 10 feet. I'm all right. I scraped my bum a little bit, but I'm all right.
You know that they can add you need your chocolate to the can Toscano no Allah. One year you only want to can go away. What's going to do? Oh, they wish you do your stuff, Ginate on like no con like a Ginate, Yoyane. They are don't take you home way, neck. The way do your stuff, she not hard the con. Now you don't they jolly want to chicken. What's going to do? They good your chief work there. The gun was color small, trolling the gun. Then do know only work.
And what he's saying about the deer meat, why it's the most important meat of all, is because it goes back to the Creator again. When He created the animals and He gave them the mindset of that they are to sacrifice themselves for the people that He created. And the mindset of the deer is that he knows right from when he's born, he knows that the Creator has given him this responsibility. And so the deer will only eat what he knows will be good for the people, for them to eat, because he knows that his responsibility is to sacrifice himself for the people. So he will only eat what he knows is good for the people. And he always picks what is the best food, like that he knows that the people will, get the nourishment. So that's what he eats, because like I said, he knows his responsibility. Ditenya jinya chit dasa want tikan la tikala dohe. No ni winel mundechi nekwitiga tikana so de tikan hondo latswa. November kanet tikan hondo lats. No hondo lata no shaka tikan sahane we ronato latone. Terus kau kompine nai wahum tandi dengan min nalondo la ciwahum nis dok na he dah song tikale ni wah ni dah kaslong de tik wahum tandi wahum dolat oke de koti hati de no syakat tikana sahane we dan latolat hone na sahati kala tunyu Winahte na hotia da je londo lats. Netone ka tononi dia we down ti kanala na ne latina tu kwat ti kan December wa sung des ci la tonon na hatika lat. Kale negen wa netikan. Tus kuneni ti tone ci wa ngoni se kanale kosla kene. Katsap ya to hunla ne kan sudet nong hati kala tu ale jakot nak cahele ola na da tuni na ta kwa bright corn or na ta kwa kana ho ne to non dia dah sawar tikan londo lats Hatikala, I don't know, San, everything, not now, so then I don't know, like. Nigin isin yo chikli wayan delia, neta hatikala don kwa kan he. Naski nen, aksot ka yonde. Ya kwine kanete yung kwanak to den kwande, kwa kan he ke kale kung idene ay pakala do. So chinet yung wayan halao, wayan tos le, kwichok na te. Win ya kwitenchi, shan tos nga so negin jinios des. And my grandmother used to say, she said, they only tell stories in the winter time because she said, we don't have time to tell stories in the spring or summertime. We were too busy. We're too busy planting and harvesting and all that. So after that, then you go hunting. Then when you come back after hunting, then you tell the stories of what happened while you were out hunting. Because back then, in 3 months, back then it used to be like certain people would be designated, to go hunting for the village. And they would go, some of them, would go for 3 months. So after they come back, which would be, November, and then after that they come back, it'd be December already. So that's when, then they would tell the stories of what happened to them while they were out hunting. So that's where that came from. And I was telling them, and I said, when I worked, I said I used to interview elders, and this one lady I interviewed, and she said, she says, that's what we used to do. She said, we'd gather at some house in the winter time, and the lady of the house would have corn soup or dried corn soup, gungeon and everything, ready for them to eat.
Negatin lawa haleka wat lawli skalas sukah lawli wahana. Wat kumahalo tikazak hat nanti, lodiga aladre kumahalo zakat nanti, tiga kanol, kacil sat wahana. Tuwi kada wakada lawli kai gung wakai ke, jok wahana wat dektan kai. Dektan zakki wahana, kanyo hitalnya kai ka, kau lawali. Zakki wahana, jika lawali shat na agadan, honagala jake nagai. Hazok na wat johan mu. Jonas kalau johan tu ikan dah hondi kan. Aku ni, because yoga liyo se ठीक. Aku itu tuan tiada tahu tiga mahal dah. Mungkin soalnya di kalau na kaya tu mesti waktu di. So di kalau ada kai, no kai tu mesti kita tadi orang kai. Kalau no dah dia lah, lalu dia lah dia lah, pun nada kalau onions kalau, hawa lah orang kai yang lah dia, wah di kalau tu naga. I remember that my mother sent me to go get my dad where they were cutting wood. I'd walk the path and go get him, tell him dinner was ready or something. I remember that. So, and I used to go around, I used to have a pocket full of that rabbit poop in my pocket. Pick marbles, pick them all up. My mother said, what you got in there? And I showed her. Shoot them all out.
Because a long time ago, when they talk about Mother Earth, they used to talk about and that during that big snow moon or that full moon, that's when she rests, because she's resting so that a few months later she's going to be in bloom again and come back to life. Because there is a place in that Thanksgiving address long time ago. They don't mention it now. I've never heard it mentioned again. But there is a place in it where they say, "Yan dolisa yung kinulha." Na la wadu na yo daliandas kawilawan li. Na le dadwada sa wong ko hae. It's gone a complete cycle.
Who's called the Rockodas.
When thunder comes and renews the earth, that's when Mother Earth wakes up.
He critican halo on Jerry was the Tinate California.
So that was all I could figure out about that snow moon, or that what Aklokosko was. That's the part where it fits in, because there's really nothing. Like he said, there's really nothing that goes on after the storytelling, because the Mother Earth is resting during that time.